Good morning. Today is the 6th of Tishrei, 5784. This class is designated for the zechut, for the merit of our Chatan, Yosef, and the Kala Elisheva, that got married last night here in our synagogue, B'Sha'ah Tova U'Mutzlachat, in a good auspicious time, and Mazal Tov, and also for the birth of my granddaughter, which I don't know the name yet. I should know the name in about 1 hour. So we should only have good and auspicious and happy simchot and great joy in this synagogue, and throughout all our congregation of Israel should only have good things and happy things and happy news. Okay, we have learned a lot about the necessity, the obligation to ask forgiveness from one another for Yom Kippur, as powerful as it is, can only atone for stuff between us and God, but between people you really have to make amends. Sorry? What if you don't ask for amends? That can hover over you on Yom Kippur. Can be an obstacle. Can be an obstacle for your Teshuva. You don't want that. Just get it done, get the ego out, and get it done.
Even if it's not sincere.
If the person forgiving is not sincere?
You're not sincere.
Oh, when you ask for forgiveness and you are not sincere, it doesn't mean much. It's lip service.
Exactly.
It's better not to say it.
You know how to do it, right.
But
finish. Good people always.
It's not just about
overcome the ego.
I want to say more than that, Mark. God works very much in the same. It's called B'midah sh'adam moded modedim lo. The same measure you do with him, he does with you. You go outside your comfort zone, he goes outside his comfort zone. You don't want to forgive, right? Actually, Jimmy, that's an absolute opportunity. You know when is a good time to buy real estate? When nobody's buying.
That's true.
When nobody's buying, that's the opportunity to
There's blood in the streets.
Exactly. So now is the opportunity. When you don't want to do it, and you know why you don't want to do it? Because Satan doesn't want you to do it, because he knows that for you to break your ego is the biggest thing. I don't want to do it. I have a reason why I hate the guy. But you break yourself, and God says, wow, look at this guy. This guy's breaking his own ego to ask forgiveness. You know what? I'll send him also a little extra.
Can we have Yechidus before we do the ask forgiveness?
Yechidus?
Yeah, with you.
What do you mean?
To be able to talk a reason.
I'm not a Rebbe. I'm sorry. I'm not a Rebbe.
What is it?
I'm not a Rebbe.
I didn't understand the question.
He was asking if you can go and have private audience with me or a rabbi to have a faster path for forgiveness.
That's what he meant.
That is only something that a rabbi can do. I'm not a rabbi.
Shots and then go do it.
Are there no rabbis?
Only the Lubavitch. There's other rabbis, but
There are no Lubavitch.
no.
But see, you don't have to do
There's
that.
no one to replace him?
No.
It's true.
Yeah, you're off the hook.
Okay, the point that I'm trying to say now is actually the reverse. I'm not talking now about the person. Can someone turn on the light?
No, we can't.
Yeah, I can.
No. Okay, fine.
That's okay.
The point is not about, now it's actually not about the person asking forgiveness. Now we are going to learn about the person being asked to forgive. So the person who is being asked to forgive, he should forgive wholeheartedly and not hold grudges. Jewish people do not hold grudges.
How many Jews you've met?
You're right. And it's one of the sweetest things to hold grudges, and that's why it's bad. It's bad, you know. Because it's sweet. Because I want to hold grudges. I don't want to forgive. I don't want to pardon.
It's a terrible sin.
It's hard. It's hard to forgive something that you know that the person really wronged you. Now, sometimes a person wronged you inadvertently, or a person scratched your car without intention. But sometimes the person really does it intentionally.
So how about someone does it intentionally and you know is not going to accept your sincere apology?
But then it's not your problem.
If someone is not going to accept it, but this is what we're talking about. We are saying, first of all, the two things have nothing to do with one another. You have to be clean in front of God and saying, God, I tried.
Sure.
And it says that you have to go a few times.
You said 3.
Yeah.
I'm going once if I have to do it. Just one time, baby.
Yeah, man.
But it says, excuse me, Jimmy, it says 3 times and it's a strike.
How do you,
Well,
It
I
doesn't
also
say
rip-
one.
I also rip toilet paper
Jimmy,
on
how do you,
Shabbos, so
but
I'm a bad guy.
Jimmy, how do you think we ended up with 3 strikes? From the Gemara. You said,
Yes,
yeah,
it has to be
yeah.
3 strikes.
Yeah,
There is a certain sequence. One time you don't know if it's sincere.
You're going to have to pump me up because I don't.
I know.
Maybe you need to
That's the ego talking. That's what he's talking
It's
about.
not my ego.
It is. You have to let that go.
I just feel that I'm not wrong, and yet anyways, it's my issue.
Maybe we have to say more l'chaim, and then the true
That's what I
Jimmy,
just said.
the true Jimmy will
No,
come out.
I'm a good guy. I'm softer.
Because right now you have a lot of ego and stuff.
No,
and-
it's not ego.
No.
It is. That's
Could be just anger.
that's what prevents you
Thank
from doing it.
Could be just anger, it doesn't have to be.
See, I
Anger
find,
and ego.
It's all the same thing. It's based on ego.
Rabbi, I find
So you
that
see how easy that's to get rid of? You just smile, you just let it go.
I mean, if you do it sincerely 3 times, plus the original time,
I believe if you do it
then the sin
sincerely,
transfers
more than
to
once
the other,
is enough.
to the other person.
Person will
the other
see
person
sincerity.
becomes liable for both your sin and for the sin of not forgiving.
You're right, but
A good person will see sincerity right away.
Yeah, but in front of
And
God.
you will also see if it wasn't sincere.
in front of God, we have to do it 3 times in order to be able to say that
But
we've done it.
If I go to my ex-wife and ask for forgiveness, I'm paying her alimony because I don't want to have to deal with her. So if I gotta go to her and tell her, you know what,
She's going to ask for more.
and it could be, but that's beside the point.
You are
not worried about
that docile?
I'm not going
Give
that
me
way.
more.
But then if she starts calling me all the time and all this, shalom bias with me is staying away. And as long as she's happy, she gets her money every month. I don't have any problem. She hasn't called, and she don't call my kids. Nothing. That's crazy.
But I want to, on that note, Hal, I want to say something over here. Shulchan Aruch says one very, 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 very strong statement. Shulchan Aruch says that the tears of a woman are so powerful they go straight to heaven. And if she, God forbid, is tearing and crying because of you, you better try to appease her in any way you can. Because the tears of a woman are very, very, very powerful.
Because they give birth, that's what it is.
Yeah, that, and
It's
yes,
something, it's
yes,
something-
yes,
it's a lot
it's
to
that,
do
that's
with it.
one reason, and also because Hashem made it in a way that she doesn't have the physical strength, but she has a very powerful emotional
That's
strength.
why he took only one rib.
Very
And this one here really is.
emotional
Yeah, no. She's a mumche.
A mumche.
When it comes to this kind of
to this
stuff.
kind of thing. Oh, they use it. They use it not for a defense. They use it for as a weapon.
You haven't had. If you haven't had contact with her in the last year, then you don't have to worry about it. You didn't do anything
No,
wrong.
exactly. I do whatever she wants.
But yeah, this year
do,
you
and
didn't have
that's-
contact with her. But
How are you?
normally you don't have
Join us.
contact with her.
Right.
You're the top person in this shul.
Look at that.
But you know something? Ricky,
Wow.
look at that.
Thank you so much.
So
Yeah, you know
Can
something?
you autograph it for me, please?
What is that?
I
We
don't
all
know.
have it?
But see, Jimmy's off the hook.
No, we all have that?
No, I wasn't referring to my ex-wife.
Oh, no,
I haven't spoken to her. yet.
Oh,
Okay.
so that's
Where
not
did you
your problem.
find this man?
So-
all right, guys, let's continue. Let's get something done. The bottom line is that if a person is asking you for forgiveness, you should forgive because it's our trait. It's the trait of Jewish people. In fact, in the time of Saul the king, the first king that we had, Saul, there was another nation called the Givonim, and Saul was waging war against them and killed a lot of their members. And then, when they waged battle again against Saul, they captured Saul and his children, and they slaughtered them and they let them hang without burial. It was really cruel. And King David said, later, when King David took over the kingdom from Saul, and then there were some of these people from the Gibeonim that they wanted to actually, they saw how great and mighty is the Jewish people, and they wanted to become part of the Jewish people. And King David said, no, you are not accepting into the Jewish nation. And you know why? Because in order to be Jewish, it's not just a certificate. It's a trait.
It's a habit.
It's a trait. It's a natural characteristic and a trait. You have to have three traits. The three traits that you have to have in order to be part of the Jewish nation is to be merciful, meaning soft-hearted, not cruel. The second one is bashful. Bashful. Jewish people are bashful. They come in, they are not always right away jumping to be the first one. They're bashful. And the third one is generous. And someone who is generous with his money, generous with his acts, always ready to help, always ready to do things. Someone who's always stingy, never gives, only comes to get, receive, and get, and never to give. That's not a Jewish trait. A Jewish trait, we are givers. We are not takers. Okay? And that's why my father of blessed memory always used to say, when we used to have in our shul so many paupers coming and asking for money. And sometimes it's annoying, over here, we don't have any. But in Brooklyn, you daven shachris, you get hit by about 20 paupers asking for money. And, sometimes it can get annoying to many people, etc. And my father used to say, we should always be the givers and never the receivers. Always be on the giving end. I don't care if so many people are asking for money. As long as I can always give and give and give, may Hashem always give me the ability to give. And never, God forbid, to receive. Okay? And this is an important thing. This is actually a very powerful wish that we can wish ourselves on Yom Kippur, that we should always be givers. Okay? It doesn't have to be, it's not about a quantity. It's about the concept. Givers, not receivers. So when someone is asking you for forgiveness, don't be cruel. Don't be like those people who King David did not want to accept into the Jewish fold because they were cruel. So we have to forgive. Now, if you know that the person was not honest with his asking forgiveness, you don't have to forgive. You can say, no, at this time I'm not ready. And then perhaps he'll come back again. Because he has to come 3 times, right? So he's going to back again and he's going to do a better effort. And then if you see that he's done really a real effort, that he's really contrite about what he has done, then perhaps you can grant him forgiveness. Okay, let's continue. There is a custom on the eve of Yom Kippur on Sunday to dunk in the mikveh. Okay? Old man, whether you are a chassid or you are not a chassid, it doesn't matter. Everybody dunks on Erev Yom Kippur. Why? Different reasons. First of all,
Cleansing yourself? Cleansing yourself?
Cleansing. Then secondly, there used to be a time in the time of the Beit HaMikdash where if a person had an emission of semen, he was impure, and in order for him to continue daven or learn, he had to immerse in a mikvah. So even though we don't have that obligation anymore, but it's still some impurity. It's a form of impurity. So we want to be pure on Yom Kippur. So people go to a mikvah. Or you can go, for that matter, also to a pool. It's fine. Even if you go here to a pool in a central village, it's just fine. Just make sure.
Is there a certain prayer you need to say?
No prayer. Just dunk in the pool on Sunday, on Yom Kippur Eve. Okay, no problem. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Just go to the pool.
You have to be nude to do it?
Yes, take off your bathing suit. Just don't make sure the ladies see you. Okay, all right, Mark.
Unless you want to.
Russian sauna.
Okay. So the immersion is associated with repentance. And by the way, interestingly enough, we just had yesterday a convert that went to the mikvah, that went to immersion. So in the same token, we do mikvah on the day before Yom Kippur like a convert. Because we are a convert. We are going through Teshuva. We are going through a big transformation in ourselves. So we do mikvah before we want to cleanse completely in front of God.
And we had the example.
And yesterday we saw the perfect example. Okay, now it is customary that every master of a household, a married man or a master of a household, lights a candle on Yom Kippur. That's why it's important to remember to buy your yard-side candle. Okay?
24 hours.
Yes, it's very important. Go to a Publix, they have it, or any other Jewish store. They definitely have the yard-side candle. And if people, God forbid, don't have any of the parents, they need two candles. One is called the living candle, and the other one is called the candle for those who are passed away. So we have two candles. One you bring to shul. If someone does not have a parent, so one candle you bring to shul, and one candle at home. Two candles. One at home, one in shul. So one candle, the basic candle, is immaterial whether you have or don't have parents. It just has to do with Yom Kippur. Why on Yom Kippur do we have to light a candle? The reason is because on Yom Kippur, as we know, Moses descended from Mount Sinai, and he brought down the tablets on Yom Kippur. That's why Yom Kippur is a day of atonement, and the Torah is considered light. The Torah illuminates and enlightens our life. Therefore, every person on Yom Kippur has to light a candle that should last 26 hours. 26 hours. We take on Yom Kippur before sunset. When it's sunset, it's already day. We take on Yom Kippur before that. Okay? So two candles on Yom Kippur, don't forget.
Is that when we came down and started to pray to golden idols? When he came down?
Actually, that happened the first time that he came down. Okay, now, this is a very interesting thing. There are people who interpret that if a person's candle extinguished during Yom Kippur, it's brought down in the Talmud, it's a bad omen.
Oh boy.
Your candle extinguished. So in the Talmud it says, be wary. Sometimes your candle just extinguishes, even though there is oil. So it says, although this presumption is it could be that it's true, it has some basis, it's preferable to avoid the situation entirely, because if a person knows that his candle got extinguished, my God, he's going to be anguished the whole Yom Kippur. He's not going to be able to daven. He's not going to be able to think. He said, "Oh my God, what's going to happen to me this year?" And this and that. We are not into superstitions. We have superstitions, but we are not into superstitions. So, since there is such a thing, what's the best thing to do? People bring their candle to shul. They give it to the gabbai. Gabbai, it's called sexton. Sexton is the gabbai. The person who is in charge of the shul. Gabbai, take my candle, put it wherever you put everybody's, and goodbye. Then you don't know. You don't know which one is yours. Usually, in the shul there is a big metal tray, yes, like there, and everybody, and you will see over there regular candles that women light, and also the yard set candles, these candles that we bring. And because someone else placed it there, you don't know which one is yours. That's it. Problem solved. You're not going to know which one is the one that it's you, and therefore you are not going to be anguished on Yom Kippur. It is customary, and remember this, important, it's customary on Yom Kippur to wear Shabbat garments. Your best clothes, bring them on Yom Kippur. Better yet, white. Okay? Come dressed in white. White trousers, white shirt, everything white. Very nice, clean, it's pure. We are like angels, and we are telling God we want to be clean and cleansed in front of Him.
Kol Nidre and Yom Kippur?
From the beginning of Yom Kippur onwards, the whole day. Okay? It's a good thing. It makes you feel good also as well. Now, very important that the vidui, which is the confession, al-chet, that we do, right? Al-chet, shechatanu l'fanecha, and the sins we did, the whole list of things. We start saying that already on Mincha, the day before Yom Kippur, meaning Sunday afternoon. We are going to get together over here. I don't know at what time yet. Maybe Hal knows. What time is Mincha on Erev Yom Kippur?
It's, I think, at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so around that time, we daven regular mincha. At the end of Shemona Esrei, before Elokai Netzor, we start saying the Elokeinu Elokai V'Seinu, Hashamnu Bagadnu, and Alchet. Why? Because the sages say we were afraid that since we have a big meal after mincha, the meal before Yom Kippur, we want to eat a lot, so we are going to be able to fast, right? The sages were afraid the person is going to eat and is going to pour wine and stuff and go to sleep, and he's going to forget about the confession that he needs to make on Yom Kippur. Oh my gosh. So the sages say, what's safe is safe. Already before Yom Kippur enters, make sure you do your confessions, get it through. So it's done, you've done it, at least you have done that part. And then even if you're going to eat and get inebriated, whatever, you're safe. Okay? After mincha, we do the lashes. I already have the lash. Believe it or not.
40 lashes with a wet noodle.
What?
Always say 40 lashes with a wet noodle.
Somebody went to the shop to get himself a custom-made leather belt, and there was a little piece, that was left over. So here is the. He gave it to me a present. Don't worry, I don't carry this all the time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to use it on you already, Jimmy.
You have no idea what I was thinking.
Okay, so here is the piece of leather, and what you do, the person bends down on the floor, and there is a certain prayer recited, and you symbolically hit the person on his shoulders and on his back, on his back. So like this. You do it 39 times. It's like symbolically the 39 lashes, and it's done with a leather belt. This is leather.
It smells leather.
It's leather. Trust me. Okay. All right.
So
now,
is that a Chabad thing?
What?
To do that?
Yes. But it says also in Kitzur.
Yeah.
It says yes. It says in Kitzur to get the lashes. I've seen many people doing it. You know what it is? Today we don't have any more lashes. We don't have any more korbanos, etc. But this, it's very symbolic. When you are bent down, and when I mean bent down, like all the way down, and someone else is giving you these little lashes, it just symbolically feels something. Like, okay, I'm being reprimanded for something. Remember when we were young and our fathers used to give us in the tuches?
Big time. Right.
Today it's not applicable anymore. You can go to jail, or the kid will call the police on you, etc. Mark, you're Russian. I'm Russian too. Would a kid ever call upon a Russian parent to the police?
Forget about that.
He's no longer.
Just say enough for it.
His ears are going to fly in some place. You're going to find that kid's ears in some place flying.
He's no longer a kid.
If a kid calls on a parent to a police, that's like the most despicable thing you can ever possibly think of in Russian culture.
Any culture, look what's happening to our world.
Yeah,
right
you see,
now.
and that's what and King Solomon said: the father who spares the rod, he hates his
My
spoils
father
his son.
always said- my
He
father-
hates his son.
My father always said that he never did it in anger. So I used to put extra underwear on, thinking that would help my clothes.
He would not. He would do it stronger.
This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. I'm like, no, Dad, you're so wrong.
Then you have those people who actually like lashes.
That's what I was.
That's that's what you said. See, I can read
wondering
your
where that was bought from, 'cause
mind.
There's a lot of places that sell that.
Yeah, I
And
can
they're
read.
not kosher places.
I can read your mind, Jimmy. I can read your mind. Okay. Anyways, all right. Should we continue? We have another minute.
Sure.
Yes.
You're gonna go to therapy.
Okay. It's very important to have. It's a very important on the day before Yom Kippur on Sunday. It is believe it or not, it's a mitzvah to eat a lot.
To do what?
To eat like 2 days on the day before Yom Kippur. Yes, it's actually more mitzvah to eat on the day before Yom Kippur than even on Shabbat. On Shabbat, you have to have pleasure. So pleasure means eating. But on the day before Yom Kippur, the sages are saying clearly, go and have few meals on Sunday. It's going to help you fast on Shabbat. And I heard that the father of the Rebbe was a saintly man. He was the chief rabbi of the city of Yekaterinoslav, which today is called Dnipro, and before Dnipro was called Dnipropetrovsk. Mark knows about the place. I was in Dnipropetrovsk a few times. Beautiful city. When I went there was 50,000 Jews. 50,000 Jews in Dnipropetrovsk. A lot of hidden Jews that didn't want to show their jewelry, and they all came out from the woodwork. And the Rebbe's father was a chief rabbi there in the 30s, and he never ate his meal with two hands. Like fork and knife. Like biting into your food and this and that. Just with the left hand, he was using the left hand. It's like something he's doing passively. The only time when he would eat with both hands was on the day before Yom Kippur, because it's a mitzvah. To show his passion for the mitzvah of eating before Yom Kippur. So it's customary to eat before Yom Kippur, and it is customary to bless the children, for fathers and mothers to bless their children before going to shul on Yom Kippur night.
Very, very good day to do Mechila too, right?
Yes. It's you want to really have a very nice, harmonious time. So I think it's a beautiful thing. There are fathers who bless their children every Friday night when they come back home, and there is a beautiful table set for Shabbat, and the father blesses the children, puts his hand on the child. It's beautiful. He puts his hands on the child. Hashem bless you and everything. It's really beautiful.
Big with the Sfardim.
The Sfardim do it every Shabbat. And want to know something? I think that the Sfardim have more respect for the parents.
That's right, and the grandparents.
I think so. By them, the concept of respect of parents and elderly is ironclad.
No, true.
Ironclad. But it's important that husband and wife are in the same wave, are in sync about that. The moment the husband says, "Oh, your mother doesn't know what she's talking about," that's it, you're finished. The kids are not going to be able to respect the parents because they both do the same thing. The mother says your father doesn't know what he's talking about. The father says your mother doesn't know what he's talking about, or etc. And then the kids are losing their respect. I've never seen in Sephardi homes talking like that. You just don't talk like that. There are certain things you don't say. You don't say that. You want to quarrel? Do it in your room, your bedroom, not in front of the kids. Okay? There are a number of things that we do not do on Yom Kippur. We don't eat. We don't drink. What else we don't do, fellows?
Sex.
Yes. What else?
Can't spend money, don't turn TV
Yeah,
on.
that's obvious. It's like Shabbat.
Don't shave.
We don't shave, okay. But what else? What else is
We don't wear leather.
very good? We wear rubber, sneakers or Crocs, whatever. Yeah. And that's why not to have pleasure, to be afflicted. What else we don't do? We don't bathe. We don't shower. We have a good shower on the day before. We don't shower on Yom Kippur. Not the night, not the day. And we don't, no deodorant.
No brushing your teeth.
No brushing of it. No.
Does Chabad wear kittel on?
Yes.
They do?
On Yom Kippur, everybody wears a kittel.
Yeah.
The kittel is the white robe, the long white robe. Very beautiful. It's very beautiful to have. It's really nice.
That's
So
what
that
Jose
covers-
had on last night.
And
And he's going to have it
And
also.
that covers being white, is it carrying?
That's right. That covers you completely white because it's long. It's very nice. It makes you look very Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur-ly.
That's what we
Yom Kippur-ly.
Very pure.
Yeah. That's it. Let's stop here for now. We'll continue tomorrow, guys.
Sure.
All right?
No Simchas.
Nor Simchas, thank you so much for your wishes. And really, indeed, only Simchas, only good things by everybody.
So Jimmy, I'm going to do it on Sunday, you hear me?